your platform into consideration, and taking your ability to see your mental faculties as leverage, and learning skills and traits, and and certain things that make your abilities more, not only for a profit, but that makes it more influential. Like, we also need to be aware of the impact that you have on a incremental level. Like, daily you could apply your verbal impact. Just like, if you ain't got nothing really good to say, then just keep your mouth shut. If you ain't got nothing that's really for people, that's like nourishing, then just, it's best to just, a fool could be made wise if he is just to keep his mouth closed, you know, to seem wise. And it's just, over time you can see yourself in a different light and see others in a different light, and you could be like, okay, what it is that I want to do with myself or my time, what it is that I want to do with my life, and thinking about that from time to time, and thinking about what it is uh, that you value the most. I'm a very, very, very family orientated man. So I value my family, and I value my connection to the Most High as the most two important things. And then having the right mental understanding of, being a community representation, being the proper community representation that is needed. So, like, understanding that and being able to know, like, you could be of use to the Most High, or you could be uh, one of those stand around goofies that ain't really, like, useful to either movement. You're just I just want to be of use, and then I want to be of source substance to, like, my people. So I want to be like one of those people that you could count on to just go to my page or go to my channel, and you just get in, just, you're getting motivated. Like, go out on a walk today, bro. It's beautiful out here. Go out on a hike. Go out, you and your lady, or you and your mans, whatever it is. You just get together and you go out and you just go get some food. Or, what up, brother? How you doing today, sir? But I mean, you just go do whatever it is that you feel like doing, and you just do it because, like, it's a good day, man. It's a good day to be alive. It's a good day to be just, So, with that being said, just go out there and enjoy yourself. You know what I mean? Because if you apply yourself, you won't deny yourself. So, you know what I mean? You got to apply yourself, or you deny yourself, man. So it's like, you got to be able to look at it like, the amount of effort that you put in directly correlates with the amount of the results you're going to get. So it's like, you put a little bit of effort into your fitness, you put a little bit of effort into your financial literacy, then you're going to get a little results. So you put a lot of effort into those things because you want to have a big result. You want to have your health right, because health is true wealth. You want to get your health right, so then you can enjoy the fruits of your labors with your work ethic, or with your financial understandings, and then you incrementally, or percentages of your weekly income, you put those into whatever it is that you feel is beautiful, paintings on the walls and whatnot. Beautiful, beautiful city, Spokane, Washington. But like I was saying, fam, you just you make the investments into yourself, because the investments that you make into yourself are the most fundamental things. Buying books, you know what I mean, and having the understanding. Let me tie my shoe real quick. buying books, having the understanding of how powerful it is to, you know, to have books, to have, you know what I mean? To be, to, you know, one of the books I carry around with me and I read consistently. You know what I mean? Having a journal to not, and a pencil or a pen to write your notes and ideas down. Those are the type of, that's the type of motivation and inspiration that you could always be insured of when you come to my channel. That I'm just trying to pop it with you. I'm trying to unlock these monumental, you know, these monumental moves, because if you believe in you, then I believe in you, and there ain't nothing that you can't do if you so choose. And I'm trying to get together with like-minded people. I'm trying to work myself into the right rooms, into the right settings, so then I'm able to be better for my tribe, for my village, for my people, and I'm able to be one of those ones that just is really able to rise above those mental shackles, or to see themselves as somebody that could be really useful and to the Most High, and really have something that's impactful, you know? Because it's all about what you want to do with your time, what you want to do with yourself, and what you want to do with your life. It's because you can sit here and act like, you know, you ain't aware of what's going on, but you well aware of what's going on, and you know what's up. So start moving with something, moving with some integrity, moving with some, you know, a certain level of humbleness, and knowing that, like, you know, you got to have those type of faculties, you know what I mean, on a certain level. Like, yeah, be courageous, be bold, step out, have confidence, but know when, you know, you take them losses, they ain't no losses. If you got that diamond mind, you know that you only learn lessons. And those mistakes is what's going to make you great, because it ain't a mistake if you learn a lifelong lesson from it, brother. So come on, step into it, my brothers, my sisters. You know what I mean? So step into your mental powers. That's what I mean when I'm talking about the ascension, is that the mental faculties, fams. You got to step into the mental, you know, the ascension. As you reach certain levels in the ascension, you know what I mean? You could always just be mindful of the transition. So the transition is meaning like how you could be, you reach a level, you got to have a transitional period in that level that you reach in your like with the business plan, you know, the new career, getting that vocational programming, getting those skill sets, having the mindset of knowing that you could become worth. There ain't no value that a man can see in material. It has to be the value that you see from getting made into the sponsorship of the Most High. Because this worldly stuff, like, it's not as important as is what you got inside. You know what I mean? And then you can make money if you do it the right way. So you know what I mean? Because it's all about, like, you don't want to have no karmic debt. You want to always be able to be in a situation or in a state of mind of knowing that it's about less about what you say and more about what you do. And it's not necessarily all about the money. It's what you gonna do with it that matters. And having those mental standards for yourself, that you ain't gonna be out here just being no trick. You ain't gonna be out here being no lick. That you ain't gonna be out here being no what? No snitch, no bitch, no sucker, no none of that. You gonna be a righteous man, a man of business, or a woman of business, and you're gonna have those type of mental leverages to where you're not over here doing no goofy ass weirdo shit, and you moving as the tribal embedment, or the people embedment, because you know how it is to take them losses, and you know how it is to really get your boss up, because there ain't no losses, because you know as you rise in the mental faculties that it's only lessons that you learn. You feel? It's only lessons that you learn. So You getting into the right proper state of mind, you getting into the right lane, and you going throughout each day being the type of person that is that is made for those planes, that's made for those those paths to be trailblazed. You made for those stages. You made for those type of situations. You made to be those type that person that's making those relationships and making that network and building and making that $100, making that $1,000, making that $10,000, making that whatever it is, and then you make that 10, you make that 20, you make that 30, you make that 40, you make that 50, you make that 60, you make that 70. And you make that 80, and you make that 100, and then you make that 100, you double that to 10, and then you make that 10, and then you double that, and then you so on and so forth. But you ask God for it first and foremost, and there ain't nothing that you can't do. There ain't nothing that you can't have, bro. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying you ask God for it first, and there ain't nothing that you can't do. And there ain't nothing that you can't have. You know what I mean? We stepping out. We in a beautiful city today. We in a beautiful city, fam. We in the town. So like I was saying, man, you gotta always remember that it's more so, it's about having a plan and having an understanding of your plan and knowing that you could do better and be better for not only your fam, but for the entire land, planet, globe. But just know that you can't, that brother gotta have soul, that sister gotta have soul. And that means that you ain't out here just always focused on the money, dog. You focused on what's your impact and your platform. And knowing that you could always make more incremental changes to your day-to-day. You could always make more incremental changes to your... How you doing, bro? I love you, man. Stay up, man. You know what's up. You know I love you, man. So it's like just understanding that and knowing and having that hope. Little brother, I love you, man. I do this for you. You see, I'm in the town. You know I gotta hold it down, fam. You know what's up? Yeah, what's happening? Everybody that's in the chat. But look, as I'm saying, like, all of this is a part of what it is that you want. What it is that you want in your life. Because you could be a realtor, you could be a stock market investor, you could be a firefighter, you could be an EMT, you could go to the military, you could open a business, open a corporation, you could do whatever it is that you want in this life. You could start a clothing brand, you could make music, but if you're gonna make music, make sure you're making music that is useful and that is inspiring. That we don't need no bang bang music, we don't need no booty clap music. What we need is real music that is gonna teach and create the leadership faculties within these young people that is gonna have them going out and being CEOs and not kids. You know what I mean? Because that's the way that I feel like we build our people up. We don't dumb them down. It's like this. You could be like a sharpening stone. You know what I mean? And you help to keep people sharp. You help to keep people on point. Beautiful Riverfront Park. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying when so it's like you gotta be sharp as any spears out here in these streets. You gotta know that it ain't about you all the time. It's about everybody's life and respecting all walks of life, from the plants to the birds to the beasts to the trees to all of that, because it's all a part of it. And respecting other people, even if you don't gotta understand what they do or how they do it, but you ain't gotta disrespect what they doing and how they do it neither. So moving with that type of respect for everybody until, moving with that level of integrity and respect, because as a man thinketh, so is he. So as you think good things, you got to think good things, because the quality of your your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. So if you thinking good things about you, yourself, and your life, they got this nice little, look at that, they got that down here. They just popped that off. But yeah, like I'm saying, bro, you got to always remember what the most important thing is that if you believe in you, then I believe in you, and there ain't nothing that you can't do if you so choose. So it's like just understanding that and knowing that you could take, you could take your city, you could take your tribe, you could take your town, you could take your family bloodline and put it on your back, and be a beacon of hope, and be a beacon of change, and be a beacon of what demonstrating what it means to be great. You know what I mean? You could be that type of person. They got all kinds of stuff out here right now, fam. They got they're doing something this weekend, so it's gonna be real nice, fam. You guys got to come out here one of these days. You know what I'm saying? Cause it's swell out here, man. It's swell out here. Let me bring you down to the falls, cause that's where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go over here by the falls, bring you to the totem pole and stuff. But like I was saying, see, they got all these little venues and stuff. They're gonna get it popping. That's what I'm saying. You and Pop's gotta come out here, man. You and Pop gotta come out here and rock with us, man. Cause you know how we do it. We know to keep the presidential all through that residential. You heard? Come on, man. You know what's up. Hey, top of the morning, fellas. How you doing, fam? Nah, I'm talking to my little brother and stuff on the phone, but it's nice to see y'all brothers today. Hey, stay native. You know what's up. Yep, you know what's up, fam. Make sure you drinking water, bros. But yeah, it's having that confidence within yourself, and then knowing and being that let me tie my shoe real quick. But being that type of individual that knows how to play their cards right, knows how to, like, you know what I mean, knows how to shuffle, knows how to fold, knows how to, like, knows how to bet big, knows how to bet small, knows how to do all of that type of thing. But I don't mean in the sense of gambling, brother. Because you know what I mean? I mean it in the sense of knowing, like playing chess. That's why chess is so important. Chess. CHESS. You know? That's what I'm saying to you. Is that that's the only game I've ever really enjoyed playing. I don't like playing games, man. I don't play no games. You know what I mean? I play basketball and stuff, but that's team orientated. That right there is building. You know what I mean? You feels? It's like we stepping out on big stages, and I'm gonna show you how to get up this way. You know what I mean? You know? But it's like finding your lane and stepping into it and understanding what it is that you wanted to do. What up, Blue Bird? What up, Robin? Well, look at the little white robin right there. And it even got a little worm in its mouth. But look, like I was saying, fams, it's understanding what it is that you got and harnessing it. And there's a difference between meekness and weakness. And a lot of people don't understand the difference between meekness and weakness. So don't let people take your kindness for weakness and mistake it for, you know what I mean? Because it's really meekness, you know? But, you know, he who plays the fool is the first to become wise, or whatever pronoun you want to pop on that and put it to. I just mean, like, you got to always understand that. It's just that Sometimes you gotta play the fool, let them think they winning, but at the end of the day, there ain't no losses that you ever take. If you one of them spearheads from your village, you only learn lessons. You feel? So it's like, whenever you go through stuff, it never folds you up. It always just builds you up. So you always, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Pressure bust pipes, but it also make diamonds. But you got that diamond mind state. So all that pressure that come, that just always give you that precious, that foam and carrot. You know what I mean? That's, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I want my peoples and I want my children, I want my village just to inherit that that self-confidence and knowing that whatever you go through, and no matter what you go through, no matter how hard it get, if you believe in yourself, then you can accomplish anything. Don't be scared to dream. Don't be scared to succeed. Just look at me. I started off on Gordon Black, man, 10-speed handlebar. You know what I mean? With my older brother, man, he gone now, but when I look up in the sky, I see his face. When I look up in the stars, I see his face. RP. My brother Avery, man, Avery Schneider, man, God protect me, high energy, and keep me going. And keep me going. You know what I mean? Keep it going. Cause we out right here at the Giza Pavilion. You know what I mean? You know? And I'm just saying, bruh. I'm doing this for my peoples, man. That's here and the ones that's gone. They ain't never gone. Energy don't die. You know what I mean? So we just trying to be the ones that's making sure the things that we doing and the things that we saying is matching up at all times. Because you don't need no money to just jump on here and be like a sun, right? You know what I mean? It would just be like a ray of sun. Just be like a ray of sun. You know? So it's like, bruh, every day that you go throughout life, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. So don't be one of them people who's going through life and not looking at it like that, bruh. Because there's always just gems and rubies and precious stones. And, you could turn that mud to marble on a mental level and have them faculties within your brain that you ain't in chains. You ain't in no matrix jar like a flea. You like a real spoken E, like a real, children of the sun. As the sun rises, I rise too. Spokane try stand up, you heard? It's the Sasquatch Warrior Chief just tapping in to let y'all know I'm at it again. I'm always at it. I'm an addict. I love life. I'm addicted to it. I'm addicted to just being of source inspiration and knowing which way, being better for my people, for my brothers, for my natives, and for my sisters and brothers, and for my village, and for the people that's all included. Because you could be the one that is of use. You could be the one that is your people really need. You could be a hero in its own right. She could be a hero in its own right. Like, I mean, and it ain't no cape with no, Speedo on. It's just out here being the type of person that's helping your people to keep it going. You being the one that's, like them, shout outs to firefighters, EMTs, tribal and local and national. Shout out to the firefighters and the EMTs, the real heroes, the ones that know how to maneuver through this, because, you know what I mean? Shout out to them. Shout out to them. So that's what I'm saying. It's always being aware of what you are and what you need to do. And being the type of person that, you could always just, it seemed like it happened overnight, but I've been sponsored by God my entire life. And I know that my platform just started really getting in shaking ground and really doing the right things for the city and for the town and getting the righteous movement. And I've been doing this for a long time. Now I'm starting to see how much I could really be of service and how much I could really just, it's okay, bruh. It's okay, sister. Start light. Just go on a walk today. You know what I mean? That's it. Just go on a walk. You know what I mean? Go somewhere nice. You know what I mean? Down here, they got it all. They were trying to get it going today. But I mean, just go on a walk, start light. And these are all just suggestions that could help you change your life. Go, drink a little bit more water. Um, Call your son, call your daughter, call your mom, call your dad, whatever. Just start building them bridges between you and the ones that's around you, till then, you can understand what it is that because it's never too late, and you don't make mistakes. You just because you turn them into lessons, because those right there can make you great if you understand what's up. You know what I mean? All right. So you see that? You see that? And you know what's up. You see that and you know what's up. Spokane Tribe Stand Up, you heard. All Tribe Stand Up, you heard. Sasquatch Warrior Chiefs, it's happening. Let y'all know I'm at it again. I'm always at it. You feels? Because there ain't, no matter what you go through, no matter how hard it gets, if you believe in yourself, then you can accomplish anything. Don't be scared to dream. Don't be scared to succeed. Think big. You know what I mean? I keep it 1,000 because, 100 ain't enough no more. You know what I mean? I got my mind on the trillion because a million and a billion ain't enough no more. So look, we got to always look at things like this. Is you being impactful? Is you being the one that is fit to go forward? Is you being the one that is taking these things nobly and knowing that integrity is the biggest thing that a man could have in his spiritual bank account, to where then you're able to move and go throughout life, and the most suckers would have just crumbled behind half the shit you went through, but you was able to trailblaze through it. You was able to go through it and be like, shake that off, because you had God sponsorship. You know what I mean? You had the most high presence in your life. So therefore, you was able to go through that, and nothing was able to just not even, barely scathed. Where you was walking where lions growl. You feel? You know what I mean? The lion tamer. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know what I mean? You see the OG up there, he been on his stuff too. He been on his stuff too. He ain't out here just all goofy. You know what I mean? You see him, he 8-packed up with, you know what I mean? He been on his workout too. You see the OG? You know what I mean? He ready. That's the tribal representation. Because if you go to the bottom, you know what I mean? That's one of the last remaining totem poles. And that right there is sacred and noble. And that's just a demonstration of like what I'm trying to, it was written. Like, I just want to be able to look at certain things and understand what it is that I'm looking at, and the symbolic heritage and the symbolic meaning of a lot of this stuff. Because a lot of people see things and they just don't understand what they're looking at. Yeah? I'm looking at the past, but I know that it could be implemented into my future. So it's like, bro, 8-packed out, ready, war bonded on, like it's really being a tribal representation. And then goes to show, like, it just, as a man thinketh, so is he. Or a woman, or, as a child, it just, so think good about yourself and others. Think quality thoughts. Don't think sitting here thinking awful thoughts and thinking that everybody's, like, out to get you and shit. Nobody's out to get you, man. What you need to do is get out your own way. And what you need to do is just ask God to turn you into a sun ray and a vessel, not a black cloud. Because everybody know that you pray about it, and you pray consistently about it, and then that's where you find power. Because, all prayers are answered. Sometimes they're answered in silence, and sometimes it's a no. But just know that you just got to just get closer to God. You got to get closer to the Most High. And you got to be noble with it, man. You got to be noble with it. He ain't forgotten. As we go throughout life, and as we go throughout each day, it's like spoken E. That's what it means. Children of the sun. So as the sun rises, I rise too. Spokane Tribe Stand Up, you heard. All tribes stand up, you heard. Sasquatch Warrior Chief just tapping in and let y'all know I'm at it again. I'm always at it. And you know what I mean? Remembering those that was before us and remembering the things that is to come. And knowing that as you walk throughout this life, you gotta always be noble, loved one. You always gotta have like, it's another feather for your woe bond, another jewel for your crown. On the mental, you know, planes and grounds, you know, on the mental levels of ascension. You got to be able to know what it is. You could be the spearhead from your village. You could be the chief. You know what I mean? You could be the one. You could be the one that's really giving people what they need. And that's that thought in their brain that they could be whatever they want. They could be whatever they choose to be. And they want to go the right direction. They could be a, you know, strong community representation like that, building like those brothers. Or they could, you know, be a fitness influencer, content creator. They could be whatever it is. They have options in this life. Just minimize your distractions. Stay out of them streets. Stay out of the courthouse. Stay out of all legal trouble. And as you get older, focus on something honorable, like becoming a realtor, getting your realtor's license, or becoming a stock market investor, or becoming an author, becoming an actor, becoming a EMT, a firefighter, becoming a corporation owner, an S-corp corporation owner, becoming a banker, becoming a debt leverager, buying debt from debt, like crediting, you know what I mean, and then buying that debt at like, you know, percentages on the dollar, and then buying it and then reselling it and then making tens to, if not thousands of dollars overnight, just because of, you know, those jewels and feathers that you had on your war bonnet because of brothers like this. Go to Earn Your Leisure's YouTube channel. I'm a, you know, paid subscriber of their channel. Go to those brothers. Go to 19 Keys. Go to Derek White's, all of his Whitehead's, all of his platforms. Go to John Bryant Hope, that brother, and it'll show you how to organize some of the stuff that you would really need in this life. I'm talking like, it'll teach you how to really get some money, man, and keep some money, man. You know what I mean? Because like Nip said, I'm gonna give you money advice and but I'm gonna give you spiritual advice as well too. Like, it's not necessarily about the money, it's what you're gonna do with it that matters. So think about what you're gonna do with it that's gonna really like be beneficial to not only your family but to the betterment of the entire planet. Be like, have an eco-friendly approach to all your spending and all your leverage, and know that like, it's one thing to be able to know how to, the mightiest of warriors know how to win a battle without even throwing a single punch, because their mental strength is stronger than any opponent, because it could be a verbal communicated conflict resolution, you know, and then you was the one who really had the upper hand throughout the whole time, because instead of using a weapon, the white man's gunpowder or anything, you was able to reach into your mind, and you was able to not even have to spill no blood, not even because you was able to be like this. Look, hey brother, I don't really think you want to go there, but I'm willing to go there if you want to, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, the pen is mightier than the sword, or the verb is mightier than any weapon on earth. The verb, just being like brother or sister, or having that connection, because, you know, the tongue's like the rudder of a ship. All right, brothers, you keep it going, man. Your tongue is like the rudder of the ship. It can bring you into the eye of the storm, or it can bring you to a paradise. So always remember that. You know, think about what's falling out your mouth. Think about what you putting into your mind, and cleaning up your digital environment. You know what I mean? You don't need to listen to no shoot 'em up, bang bang, booty shaking shit. You need to really think about like, all right, what am I going? Shout out to like brothers like D1, and shout out to brothers like Black Sam. Shout out to brothers like you know, brothers that are really showing something. They ain't just out here just trying to, you know, dumb the village down, or try to just capitalize off everybody and then run off. They trying to, really put more money in they sales into and it's not about the money. It's about that mental understanding of value, and true wealth is within in a human that is timeless and is priceless, because paper shouldn't have any saying what a man's true value is. A man makes the money don't make the man. So listen, fam, never ever feel like it's because you got it all in your pocket and in your wallet that just make you, because that right there is superficial. One of the type of things that you can always understand is just like having them follow the man with the plan, follow the woman with the plan. They got the plan. They know how to put a plan into action. They know how to, lead. They know how to listen. They know how to learn. They know how to communicate. They know how to build. They know how to walk up and have a decent conversation with somebody who look completely different from them and from a completely different background. But at the end of the day, they know how to meet on common ground, because that's one thing that's always going to set a standard for you. It's always going to be able to be, of use, is just being able to be multifaceted with you can't have cultural bias. That's going to always slow you down and hold you back from reaching higher than you ever have. Nice day, man. But like, it's going to always be the reason that, you can't be biased. You can't have those mental shackles in your mind, because all people's understandings and all people's perspectives in a certain degree have value. Whether you see it or not, they see it. It's all right, whatever. I'm not going to agree with it. I'm not going to partake in it, but I'm not going to be disrespectful or judgmental towards it. I'm just going to be polite, giving a respectful distance. That's just what it means to know and understand. Like, so stepping into that as a community leader, as a tribal leader, as a leader amongst men, I've always put my best foot forward in my approach to knowing that and being aware of that, and knowing that you could be you feel like the richest man in Babylon. I feel like that. You know what I mean? Because I know that a lot of the times it's like you gotta enrich these people and give them that spirit. And that this book called The Richest Man in Babylon, I wrote it, or well, I didn't write it. Shit, I'm tripping, but I read it. And it's one of the biggest impactful books on my financial understanding, because it goes all the way back to like an old like camel thief in Babylon films, and about like these debt collectors and these alchemists and stuff. It's a really good read, man. I suggest it for you. There's so many different books. Oh yeah, The Kid and the CEO, highly recommend that. Personal finance, any personal finance book, any credit leveraging book, any book that's going to teach you how to not work for money but allow your money to work for you. But getting a 9-to-5 is cool and having those things, but there's a different way. You like playing video games? How about you create a video game? You like playing board games? How about you make a board game? Or think about how you could make a clothing brand, how you could become somebody that just does the things that they do for fun, but does it in a way that is not just like overly obsessive. And there's a way to, you got to get out there and be able to go get off the video game, get off the Xbox for a minute, help your mom out, help your daddy out with the house and chores and all of that without no gruff. Because that's what it means to show that unconditional love and to hold it down, baby boy. You know what I mean? Hold it down, little sister, hold it down. You know what I mean? Go get that yard work done. Go get and it's nothing. You know what I mean? My mama called me, there ain't nothing I ain't gonna do for her. She called me, and I'm gonna get that done. You know what I mean? My lady called me, I'm gonna get that done. No question. My brother called me, I'm gonna get that done. If I can't do it, I'll be honest and be like, I can't do it right now, but it's cool. Don't just like, always remember that your character is something that you can't fake, but it's something that you could cultivate throughout each day. So you could cultivate that certain character, that certain level of wit, that certain level of creativity, that certain level of peace, and knowing that you can and you will get better with time and with effort. That it's all a part of it. You know what I mean? You can get better. You will do better if you so choose. You know what I mean? Because you can't get in your own way. You can't never count yourself out. Always count yourself in. You know what I mean? Sister and brethren, cousin, uncle, auntie, relative. You know what I mean? Just like really, you know what I mean? Community member. You know what I mean? Like, always remember that. You know what I mean? Always remember that. You know what I mean? And if I'm not mistaken, this gentleman was a strong brother. Strong brother. Like, I was always trying to just be mindful and be useful to everybody. And you know what I mean? Because as you go through things, you grow through things. You know what I mean? So you always got to have a growth-based mindset with whatever it is that you going through. I done took some lessons the hard, like took them to the chin, boom. You know what I mean? Like, and that was it was tough, but at the end of the day, sometimes you got to understand, fam, that it's more so about having the awareness of that you go through certain things so you can learn certain lessons. And there's certain things that you got to go through because that was the only thing that was going to give you that certain amount of pressure. And if you don't have a pipe mind, but you got a diamond mind, you're able to go through those pressures and be elevated and get that carrot, the purest form of carrot from it. You feel? That's what you're able to do. You're able to get that carrot, the purest form of carrots from those type of things that you went through, or the struggles that you know, because it's all about knowing and getting through those things in a productive way, going through those things in a productive manner to where you're not being bittered by those things, you're being bettered by those things. Because some people age like milk, others age like wine. You know, so complaining and whining is gonna get you to age like milk, but being sponsored by the Most High and being insightful, that's what's gonna have you aging like the top shelf finest of wine, and you getting better with time, and you always on time. You know what I mean? And for the peoples around you, fans, because you know, it's always about what you. It's about what you got in your mind and what you got in your heart, and what's, you know, being able to, you know, be the type of person that is meant to be around for you know, you the type of person that's meant to be around, fam, because you the one that's holding it down in every way. You the type of one that's holding it down in every way, and you staking your claim, like you going out here and paving the way. You're not only doing it in a superficial like way, you doing it in a way that's like getting these people out of the mental chains, brother. You the one that's helping these people to see themselves in a whole nother way. You got them thinking that they could be more than just a kid or a ball player. They could be a CEO. Like, cause man, there's a lot of people, like, maturity is a mind state, bro. It's not a number. That's why you got grown-ass men acting like kids and you got kids acting like grown-ass men, or whatever pronoun you want to put on that. I'm just saying, like, you got to understand that maturity is a mindset. So you got to always be able to be mature, more mature than the things that you see around you. You know, you got to be able to see the things that are around you and not be the one that's made to be influenced by the wrong things. You know, like if you see a brother owning a business, being an apartment complex manager, you see a young brother being a realtor, you see a young sister being a content creator and getting her nail products and all of that off the ground, and she doing whatever, go with that. Don't be like one of these suffering succotashes and always trying to do the. We don't need no more rappers, really. But I mean, if you're gonna do that, then be somebody that's impactful. Come with that song. Come with that proper alignment and knowing that what you do and what you say have an impact, because it might not have it has a ripple effect on the people around you. So it's like you throw a stone in a pond, it's gonna ripple. So you got to think about your ripple. You know what I mean? So it's like being able to see that for what it is and not let that go of your head, and being able to be like, look, let me get my thought process together. Let me get my whole like understanding of what it really means to like have a platform and respect that. Like my platform, I respect that. I will never neglect that. The Sasquatch Warrior Chief brand, the Sasquatch Warrior Chief corporation that is in the works, and all of this type of stuff that's going into the processes of the mental faculties of living with the hope to, shake the world. I'm in the processes with the world's top notch boxing contracts. I'm gonna try to go with that. Who knows? I'm trying to in the works with some record labels, trying to get my music. But the biggest thing is just trying to make the proper use of my platform, and knowing that it is useful to respect that, and to know that people do watch, people do listen, and when people are watching and listening, you got to have something that's really substance giving. You're giving people substance on a mental level, on a spiritual level. You're giving them something that they ain't never even get from their own. Come on, you staying on point. You making sure that you giving, because you never know who's watching. You never know whose life you could change by just being a better Baba. And a Baba is like I feel like it's a Kemetic like word. It's an African word for like father, but I feel like it's a lot more than that. It's a sacred masculine energy that is used to be a source of influence, inspiration, and protection, and a value for its tribe, its village. It's being a Baba means that, I'm not only thinking about me and mine, I'm thinking about other people's lives. And if I'm not even gonna think about, that, then what the, come on, you gotta understand. It's like, I'm not gonna be over here trying to smile in everybody's face and kiss everybody's ass, but I'm not gonna be over here just getting in nobody's way, or being over here trying to step down or look down on nobody, because the only time you should look down on somebody is when you're helping them up. And if you ain't got it to help them up, be honest with that and just know what's up. And being able to, that's the biggest thing, is knowing that and stepping into that shit and being able to be like, look, I'm the one, you the one, so let's come together and put it together, loved one. You know what I mean? And having that hope and that extended reach for the, because it's like each one teach one. Brother see, brother do. You know what I mean? Sister see, sister do. Like, knowing that if you believe in yourself and if you believe in your people, then your people and yourself could just really be the ones that's soaring like eagles, bro. Soaring like hawks. Going, like airplanes. You ain't being weights. You heard? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the difference between us and them, and the thought process, the mental faculties, the understanding of what it means to have it and to not have it, but you got it at all times. You rich in spirit. Your heart, your spirit, that's timeless and priceless. Materialistic, worldly things can never, ever have value over your spirit, your soul. Because your soul, that's for the Most High God to use, and for the Most High God, because the Most High God is the one who gave it to you. So be better for your maker. So like, build up the temple, God gonna come, build it up. You know what I mean? Do what you can to get those things right. You know what I mean? Get your mind right. Get your body right. And ask God to come into your life and really just step in and make you a source of inspiration, make you a source of motivation, make you a spearhead for your people, make you somebody that's useful, somebody that's impactful, somebody that got something for the village, for the tribe, for the people, for your family. You know what I mean? Set them on presidential standards and not be just some suffering succotash acting like a little maggot. You feel? No way. Beautiful. Beautiful. I just be loving the way it look down here, fam. I'll be loving the way it look down here, fam. So I be just breezing through the city sometimes, just giving y'all a glimpse of the town and what it got to offer, man. Cause the beautiful city, I've always just been. Excuse me, sir. We all could be sources of inspiration for each other. Beautiful artwork on these buildings back here. We could all be sources of inspirations for each other. We could all be the ones that really is there for each other at the times when people really need each other. It's like, we could always be ensured and enriched by the things that we going through, bro. We could, knowing how to speak to people, knowing how to believe in people, and knowing how to be the type of person that, knows how to lead the people, but knows how to learn from people, knows how to see people as equals, knows how to, see the source of an instrument, see the source of a book, and see that those type of things can really